Hello, hello, hello. Guess who it is? It's your girl, DJ Maya. This is the Mad Chatter Show for those who are tuning in. We love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're listening online, you're tuned into wvew.org. Check out the website. We'd love to have you part of the family. You are tuned into 107.7 FM. If you're in the area, Brattleboro community radio that we love, love so much. I got my DJ Pooh Bear in the house. Rawr.
DJ Pooh Bear.
And say hello. You brought me some guests this week. We got an amazing interview for you guys. I've told everybody we're going to be doing interviews. They're excited. So Don, who do we have this week?
We actually have somebody from my old stomping grounds in Ontario and the people responsible for the new theme music for my show, the Roundtable Show on YouTube and Rumble, Carbon Dallas.
Yay! Carbon Dallas.
Woo! Yeah.
Say hello. Welcome, guys. We got a few here tonight.
Hello, thank you.
Got a party. Say hello. Introduce yourself really quick.
I'm Brennan. I'm the lead singer and lyric writer of Carbon Dallas.
Brennan, beautiful. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm Justin. I'm the lead guitar player, and I'm responsible for a good portion of the music writing.
Yay! Welcome, welcome. And
I'm Shawn. I'm Shawn, the bass player, and I do the recording and the mixing, and the producing.
beautiful. Welcome, guys. Welcome to my show. It is so wonderful to have you. Don has been, DJ Pooh Bear has been
DJ Pooh Bear.
highly of you guys, and we're gonna play your music for the listeners as well when this airs. Would you like to talk about your album, say hello, and let the listeners know a little bit about you?
Sure. We are Carbon Dallas. We started in 2020, and we began as a remote band during COVID because we enjoyed writing music together, and we put out an album in a very short amount of time. And we've been working diligently ever since. And that is, really a synopsis of where we're at. However, if you want a bit of the history, we were talking about it beforehand, but Shawn, if you want to get to the nitty gritty of that.
Thanks. Yeah, so it started, Justin had sort of told me to do some mixing for this guy that he had found on the internet who happened to be Brennan. So I did that for some work, trade off for artwork. And then Brennan reached out during COVID and asked if I could get a few guys together to play some music for him so we could get it recorded and put together. Got Justin involved, another friend of ours, Kurt. So then did that. We had a lot of fun with that, and we had a few songs of our own, so we sent them to Brennan. Brennan put some vocals down on those within a few hours, sent them back to us. We were liking what had happened, and just grew from there.
So that was like the really, really brief version of it. So, but the beauty of it all is that you guys met. Did you guys meet online during COVID?
So the way that it worked was during COVID or the beginning of COVID, I started a Twitch channel with my wife, and it became quite big quite quickly. And during that time, these guys had caught wind of it. They actually are friends, a longtime friends with a mutual friend of ours who is now our drummer, Dave, who I met about 15 years ago. And so they knew him, we knew each other, and then we kind of were aware of each other. But when I started the Twitch channel, I started doing my own music again, at which point led me to finding Shawn, the producer.
Wow.
So we ended up, Shawn, I would say within 3 to 6, not even 6 months, 3 months, putting together my album. And at which point I was like, okay, well, what now? and I had a whole roster of songs that I had written prior, and I was like, hey, you want to make these real songs? So we did about 3 or 4 of them, and then like they explained, they sent me their songs, to which I was like, holy shit, this is exactly what I want to be writing to. And I wrote them within 8 hours, sent them all back MP3s, and we had the demos. And then yeah, from there we're like, okay, let's start a band. We have all these songs, let's put out an album. Because I had the Twitch channel, uh, the people who were watching me do that had regular exposure to what was going on with the band. So I would share songs and stuff that Shawn had produced, and kind of just giving people a preview. So by the time we released the album, or we started figuring out the album, excuse me, um, it was already like the amount of people who were interested more than filled the pre-order to do the entire production of the album, full color booklets. Like it's the real deal. Like, you know, the CD you would get back in the 90s, where you'd peel it and smell it and you put it in and you'd listen to every song from the beginning to end. And, you know, we made sure we had the lyrics in there. And it was just a dream come true, truly, for all of us to put out this like rock record that really, you know, vibed with us, who we were as people and as a band members. And it was just so serendipitous, because none of us had actually met. None of us had actually spoken face to face. None of us had written any of these songs together. It was all just this, you know, isolated, then brought together, and it just worked perfectly. And so when we walked away with that album, which just like fell in our laps, we're like, holy shit, we've got something really, really special here. So we quickly wrote what was essentially an entire second album, but then life got in the way for a few of us, and because of that, we went on a hiatus. But yeah, since then we've had listens constantly, like even when in our not being around. And as we're coming back, a lot of attention is happening again. Like we've had a lot of firsts as a band that most bands who are together for a long time don't have. You know, releasing a pre-order for an album for a band that nobody's ever heard of, that's insane. You know, having that fulfilled, having 1,200 listens on our album in the first 8 hours, that's insane. That doesn't happen to small bands, let alone bands who have never even met each other. And so yeah, we realized we had something really special. So when the opportunity arose again at the end of last year to pick up where we left off, we all of us just kind of like went running out the house without any clothes on, going after this thing. We're like, yes, we're in. We're fucking in.
Wow. Did you guys make this album with the intentions of playing it live, like meeting up and doing this live in the future? Or was it just something you did because you just felt the vibe, you created it, and then boom, there's an album? Or are you planning on live shows?
I think ideally we all had the dream of live shows, but the reality is that it was COVID. So any kind of hope for a live show was just that. I think we all knew immediately, though, that the songs would translate live easily and very effectively. And so I think there was a hope in all of us that it would end up there.
Yeah, it was just a 2-year shutdown, so that kind of it dampened things, you know.
Right.
You guys actually just did your first live show, didn't you?
We did.
We did just finally.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were very ass backwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we released an album, and then we met, and then we did our first show 3 years later. Yeah.
How did that go in person for the first time? Was it just a natural thing? You guys, was it like, or was there like little rehearsals that needed to, like, you know, tighten it up?
I think with any band, the rehearsals are needed to tighten it up. But because Justin and Shawn had been playing with Dave and Dennis forever ago, they already had that familiarity, and it really, I don't know. I like to think I could just be dropped anywhere and I will get along with you. So fitting in with them was stupid easy. Like the in terms of the energy, we all match it. I mean, we're all a little bit nervous when we play live, but I think the show really went well. It went well enough to say we got to keep doing this. Like
Right.
it felt good. It felt. I mean, guys, what do you think?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and to, even add on to the depth of the story. So you just mentioned Dennis being our rhythm guitar player now. He just recently joined the band and was able to play with us with our first live show.
Right.
But we have Shawn and Dave and I also have history. We've also played in other bands with Dennis before, so like for like so many years, like 10 or more years, different bands here and there, pick it up,
20.
then you're not, but then you
It's been
are.
20 years.
Has
Right.
that been that long now?
It's been 20
Yeah.
years. Yep.
We're not
Yeah.
young anymore,
Because
man.
I've
So I
never
mean,
been in a band. I've never been in a band that didn't have either Dennis, Justin, or Dave in it.
right? So it's just really nice to have Dennis to join into all of this. It's like it all came to now.
It
Yeah.
seems like their chemistry just building over time. You guys just had to wait for everything to kind of fall into place.
Yep.
Well,
The
see,
bonds definitely were maintained and expanded upon as these guys kept going. Yeah, it was always something that kind of seemed like it was just going to happen. I would say, like inevitably, it would be these guys in a band together.
right. Well, one thing I've learned that with musicians, like, it's so different. My like I was saying before, my husband's a musician, and he's the type of person that he does everything in his head. He writes the lyrics, the music, every part. He plays every instrument, and then he's got these talented friends that he sends the music to, and then they recreate it or they add to it, and then they meet up sometimes and do it live and record, or sometimes they throw pieces together. And I'm amazed. I'm like, yo, how do people even do that? Like, it's amazing to me. I appreciate the process and the steps, and the energy and the feeling that goes into the music that you're creating. I know I did a session with a girl who is a musician as well. And I was telling you guys before the show, I do hypnosis and I do past life regressions. And she was a musician. And her friends were playing music one day. They were jamming out and they had this crazy vibe. And the vibe was so spectacular that in the etheric world, they birthed a baby griffin out of nowhere. So like
Can
you
relate.
guys, like music to me is on a whole nother level. I see it now, all the on different, many levels. Um, what about you? What about you guys? Like, is music like, does it take you to any other zones? Do you like blank out and just, because the guitars and stuff and the bass, they all have different vibes and stuff. So how does
I
that
think
feel to create like that?
for any, well, I mean, I can't speak for these guys, but for me, I'm a very spiritual person, and writing for me is it's just a flow of consciousness now, which is why I can write so quickly and it comes out so easily. So I would say, yeah, like writing and performing, and like it does take me into a meditative state, and it is right up there with exercise for me in terms of getting me to that higher level. um and I imagine that it's like there's just something that goes through you like electricity. It's the energy, right? That's really, you're building off your own energy when you're doing it, and you get excited and then it builds and builds. But I think any musician who really feels like that's their calling, or they want to take it further, they feel that, they possess that when they're writing it. Otherwise, why would they be doing it, in my opinion? But I mean, like that's just a state that I do. It's one of two things that I can do really well. The rest of the time, it's like, man, he's dumb. So like, yeah, I would say I find that center in that and really excel at it.
Sometimes I know I'm going to go write a song, but I don't know what it's going to sound like. I'll be sitting watching TV with my wife, hop up. Where are you going? I think I gotta go write a song. I sit down and just something comes out and then I build on, build on, build on. And before you know it, I've got a demo, I fire it off. Usually Brennan will add his lyrics to it, and or Shawn will kind of cut it up and produce it more, like, change how it goes. Not so much how it goes, but like how it's laid out. Yeah, arrangement, the arrangement, right? Play with the arrangement, maybe add a few extra instruments for fullness. And then Brennan would add on to that as well too. And
So
then we would do
it's a
it.
steady train of flow of consciousness. That's why.
Yeah.
So it goes from him being like, yeah, I came up with this, and me being like, oh, that's cool. And here, Shawn, I did that too. And then he mixes it, and we're like, holy fuck, that's kind of like a really good song. We wrote that. Did you know we wrote that?
Right.
Hey guys,
The amount of times that I have sat listening to my own music like a month later, and I'm like, I look to my wife and I go, I wrote this. How did I write this?
You have that problem too?
Oh
Oh,
man, all the time.
I've been doing that a lot. I'm like,
hey
we wrote
guys,
this.
just so
How
you
did we
know,
write this song? Like,
the episode with your song on it is blowing up on YouTube right now, like as we
Excellent.
speak.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, the chat's like packed and it's nothing but positive.
Shit.
That's
Like,
awesome.
why isn't it on Spotify, you idiots? Listen to our album, it's coming. Relax.
Yes. So you guys want to talk about this album that is getting ready to drop. So when we do this episode, we're pre-recording for the audience, but when we play it, it's going to be this Friday. So did you want to talk about what that big day is for you guys? Is that a special day?
Well, so
yeah.
we haven't actually decided a release date officially for that new track just yet. So you'll be getting an exclusive listen to that, and anytime you want to hear it, you can listen to DJ Pooh Bear's channel. But the official release date we haven't decided, because we will be doing a proper video and rollout in terms of press and pushing it that way. But that being said, I can plug on February 1st. So that is, what is it, the day before? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
the Thursday.
so.
Don calendar, man. I don't know.
I got February 1st. So Thursday. So the day before you air. So we'll say yesterday.
Yesterday.
We are re-releasing our track Little Pills, which is the leading song off the album. You were asking earlier about, how we determine which songs do really well. That is, aside from the cover we did for Warframe, that is the leading song on the album. So we're re-releasing it with a video and the beginning of a waterfall release with the new tracks, including a high maintenance release with that, and then the upcoming release, Down in the Dirt. So that is coming out on the 1st. So if you go to our YouTube, you can watch the premiere, and if you go to the Spotify, you can pre-save it.
Beautiful.
Right.
And your channel is Carbon
That song has a very specific message, doesn't it?
That song does, for sure. Yeah, Little Pills. The song itself is basically a flip-flop on the feeling good about taking pharmaceuticals medication because you're told it's proper, when in actuality that shit fucks you up just as bad, if not worse, than the hard dope. And so it's kind of like a rise up, fall down, and kind of tripping out when you're supposed to have a little bit more stability in your life. It's something I've dealt with heavily. I'm an addict, at heart. You know, it is what it is. And so there's been a lot of effects in pharmaceuticals and shit getting thrown at me prematurely to kind of fix the problems, and the problems don't get fixed, sort of thing. So it's confusing, you know. You got to believe the doctors, but you know, when they're sending you home with this shit and it's doing worse to you than anything else, then do you believe that so it's a commentary, to say the very least.
Wow.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to get out to everybody.
Thanks for asking.
Yes, there's messages behind every song, right? I'm assuming, because
Oh yes.
why you make them, right? Any other ones you guys want to talk about? Any special other songs that mean a lot to you when you were writing them?
I mean, I have a few that are close to my heart, but I would love to pass the mic around, and because I know, Justin, there's a few on the album that really are, you're like, mwah.
Yeah. Hold On, which I'll let Shawn kind of take over after that, but Hold On kind of holds a special place. It was like I wrote that 20 years prior to us writing the album. Like, it's just something I've just held on to, and nothing's kind of lived up to what I thought its expectations should be until we did this. So it included Brian Crouch, and then Shawn, tell him all about him.
Hmm.
I mean, the whole album is important to me. There's not one song better than the other, like one more better than the other. But with having Brian on Hold On, that was big for me. Because he was the lead singer of a band called Hail the Villain, and I'm a big fan of that band. And so getting to know him, he actually helped produce a few of the songs on the album too. So yeah.
Nice. And so are these local bands in Canada? Is that where you guys are, right?
Hail the Villain, yeah, they were a Canadian band. They were signed to Roadrunner Records.
So they were signed major label, yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Our fellow North Americans.
And I think the song that, I mean, the album itself was like Justin said, and like Shawn said, like the album itself, there's so much to that album. I mean, I could go track through track and tell you why each one was important, because of the value each of them held to each of us. One of the things that really has, so there's 2 songs on the album that when we released the album, I refused to listen to them. And I can't tell you why. I think it's because I'm just so goddamn fickle. But I had the guys redo 2 songs. One was called Float, and the other one was called If I Agree. And Float, I wrote, it's like Justin's story. Float, I wrote when I was 17 years old. And so to rewrite it we redid it when I was 33. Now we're performing it when I'm 36. It's fucking weird, but it's timeless. I listen to that now, and when we've played it live, it is such just an anthemic, you know, if you got a crowd going with you, it will move the house, and it's the chillest song. So it came back, I mean, it grew on me again, the way that it sounded different than the original. And don't get me wrong, the original sucked. Like, there's no 2 ways around that. I was just very particular, you know? That was the first time somebody had taken my shit and made it better. And I'm like, well, my stuff's good too, you know?
Right.
But, and that's a funny story. Justin, when we were Justin and I did a few songs in this last summer together, acoustic, and one of them was Float. And I pulled out my guitar. I'm like, yo, I'll play along with you. He goes, no.
No.
I changed how it's played. I'm like, oh, I'll just learn it. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then the other song, If I Agree, again, it was the same thing. So it was the song itself had completely changed after we had done it. And I love this song, but it was just the change in itself that I was like, I don't like that. But after the time has passed and I've had fresh ears, I'm like, why was I so fickle? And I slapped
Well,
myself around a little, you know?
it was your ego. Your ego was like, but I did that.
That's what it was. It was the ego. I had to explode it in order to really appreciate these songs. But now
You're
I
like,
do. And oh
yeah,
my God, these guys are talented.
you're like,
You
ego,
did
come on,
that.
it's better. It's good. It's your song is still there. It's just it's different. There's two versions now.
That's
That
right.
has been with it.
But yeah, the album itself is a gem to us. Like regardless of where we end up, that it's like it was an achievement of the fullest degree, I feel like.
I feel like COVID, Crotch 19, I like to call it, was a blessing in disguise. Honestly, my whole career changed and picked up and took off right at the beginning of it. I refused to be at home and bored and do nothing. I started creating like crazy. And I think a lot of people found that energy. They just took it and made the best of it. They're like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm just going to make it the best that I can and not like take this down, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on where you were, you found yourself with a little extra time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you weren't a pyro.
Oh, it was weird for us because, like, right at the end of it, our life fell apart. Like, our landlord, who was kind of shady, he's like, "Oh, I'm selling the house. You have a month to get out." Well, then the housing inspector came and said, "Hey, the house is condemnable. You should be out now." And like, my boss had just died, and
Jesus
I had
Christ.
like no, like nothing. And I
Oh,
got a text from a buddy, and he's like, "Hey, there's jobs out in Alberta." I'm like, looked at Spinja here. I'm like, "You want it?" And she's like, "Yup." We packed up the van 2 weeks later and drove across country because I had to be at work like the third day, and we drove here in 2.5.
Jesus Christ.
wait, that's the same job you quit?
Yeah.
All
Then I
because
quit
of the license plate. When
his
you're on a
license.
spiritual journey, you look for all the damn signs. You're like, oh, wait, hold on. I need to
It
go
was
that way.
it actually said Draco, as in reptilian. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy. When he gave up a good job because the dude's license plate said Draco. Yo, who does that? You have
Each
to
their
have
own. Follow your
journey.
own. Yeah.
Well,
That's
to be
wild.
fair, it was a pit truck. Like, I was driving a septic truck, so I
Yeah.
think I
Sounds
do
shitty.
this.
But
So
there, that makes sense.
so are you guys doing music videos for these songs?
So there's a music video that is releasing with Little Pills on the 1st. And
Okay.
there we will be doing a music video for Down in the Dirt as well, which will be released when the song is released.
Nice. Do you
Yeah.
have themes for your how you guys want your videos to do since you're going to be in separate places or any
Well, I mean, we'll be getting together for it. We do have a few themes, but nothing like nailed down. Like we still have the planning to do and the storyboarding and figuring out all of the minor details like that. But I think our general kind of idea around it is pretty. It's on the nose. You know, it's down in the dirt and it's digging a grave. It's that kind of, you know, that's where life is taking you. That's the whole message that's getting shoved down our throats type of thing. So I mean, however that presents itself and manifests as we discuss it and find I mean, we have a few locations that we've talked about but the rest it's hush, it's secret. You gotta wait.
right. That's
And that's
cool.
actually what I'm using for my intro music is Down in the Dirt.
Are you?
Yep. So if you want to get a little sneak, you can watch the show.
It's a banger.
Ooh.
Nice. Are you going to collaborate with anybody special? You guys doing any collaborations? You have any guest people, any guest vocals, you know?
Hey, we do.
We
Female.
do. Yeah. We have, well, so far we have Garth Allen, who was a lead singer of a band called Flybanger. They were big in the early 2000s, and he's continuing. We're getting him on a track called Drug Like Fantasy. And we may be in talks with another fairly big artist that I worked for a short amount of time. That yeah, so we got
Cannot
a
be
few.
disclosed at this time.
Cannot be. But it's a really cool opportunity. Like I've worked with this guy before, and it wasn't in really either of our realms in terms of music, but coming back and doing a song with him now with Carbon Dallas, we're pretty excited because we really hit the mark with it. So fingers crossed that all goes through. He's a busy guy, but motherfucker owes me one. So
Yeah. Can you talk about the name, where you guys came up with the name? I'm a big Dallas fan, so I do like the name Dallas, but where do you get the carbon? What's carbon?
are you a movie fan?
I am, but if you quizzed me, I would fail.
Are you a Bruce Willis fan?
I do like Bruce Willis acting. I do like his macho-ness. Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Fifth Element?
Oh my God, I love The Fifth Element.
Well, Bruce Willis's character in The Fifth Element, his name was Corbin Dallas.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. So I was
which
like,
was
well,
which was almost the band name.
yeah. I had to change it. They're like, well, no. So
A little
I said,
too
well,
on the nose.
what about Carbon?
Wow. So you really like that character, or what? What's the deal? What's
Yeah,
the
I mean, I as a kid growing up, he was like the ultimate actor to me. Like, as a joke, I'd say like Bruce Willis is my dad. You know what I mean? Like I fucking adored the guy. And that movie was like the pinnacle of that was the last big spectacle movie that I saw when I was still in that adolescent, like, holy shit, blockbuster mindset.
Okay.
So
Lost
I
Boy
walked.
Scout? Is it
Right,
last?
yeah, Last Boys, like, man, they get Last Man Standing, Bullet, like the guy is a legend.
Yeah,
But
I
that
like him.
movie just was everything.
Nice. And the guys went along with it. They're like
Yeah, they
yeah.
don't they like
He used the art design.
yeah, the album we used was tied to the whole fifth out. Like we used the elements. The album was called Elements, and we used a lot of the designs similar to the movie. I was all about that. They let me get my yayas out, and we've moved away. We've moved away from it now.
Okay.
But yeah, no, these guys are amazing. I don't step on toes because I am not the musician they are in terms of the music. And out of respect, I guess either that or they're like, they just don't want to go near me. But they're like, well, let him do what he wants to do as long as it's not too outlandish. And I haven't hit that yet, which is nice. So, it's a good jive.
Yeah. There's an album you guys got to check out. I just came across. It's called Vitas. Vitas. I said, yo, the song is called Seventh Element. You remember the blue character that was singing? It
Diva,
kind of
yeah.
reminds me of that vibe. You have to see it if you're into
Really?
that. Along the lines of the Seventh Element. The song is called Seventh Element, but
Well, I'm gonna check that out.
anyways, that's really cool. And so the song, so if that's the name of the album, are all the songs connected in some kind of way? Do they tell a story, or are they just random?
Oh, they're random.
Yeah, they're random. They were a mishmash of songs I had written that they rewrote and songs they had written that I wrote lyrics to. So, I mean, we did work hard on cohesion, but there is absolutely nothing connected to the title. There's nothing connected to each other. They're just a group of songs by a bunch of idiots.
Talented.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, savant
Talented
level
idiots.
but idiots nonetheless.
Scratch out idiot. I mean, we all have a little idiocracy in us. Is that the right word?
We do. It feels so much better when you own it. That's all.
Yeah, and you make good music. make people laugh and dance and sing or whatever, you know, however your music, does your music, do you think make people feel good, make them want to dance, or is it put them in a trance, you know? Like,
Ideally, we want people to dance, or like we dance. You know, we're working on a line of groove, so you can, you know, sway and you can get into it, but heavy so that you can really like get into it. Like you could listen to it at the gym, or you could dance something to it. That's kind of
nice.
where we're, you know, so no matter what it is, there's a certain level of rhythm to it, so it's not like you're going to pick up something from it. And so yeah, I would say that's kind of the aim.
And what about each one of you? It's like, who do you your music, are you influenced by somebody? Is there, I know my husband, he has this one artist that he loves, Vaughn Benjamin, and his music is all about this guy's vibe. And it's nothing, it's not even the same, it's different, but that's the guy that's influenced him to get him. Do you guys have somebody that you guys listen to that kind of like, you know, do all artists go through that, or is he, I don't know. Do you guys
I
have?
think everybody has their obsession. I think every artist has a certain level of OCD when it comes to other music. Like Shawn, I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Yep.
Shy boy,
Who do you
Shawn.
love?
Who do you
me,
listen to,
like
Shawn?
I everything. I've just listened to everything now, but I respect more styles of music now than I did when I was younger too.
Mhm.
Probably from creating it the way we do create it, you just learn to listen to it a different way.
So
Yeah.
what do you would say was like, what do you bring influence wise? Like when you
Oh,
were
influence
writing for,
wise,
yeah, when you're writing our songs, who are you like, I'm gonna bring this vibe in?
I just bring in what I feel. Like musicians, I'm influenced by like Manson. Manson's the reason why I picked up a bass. That very bass heavy Antichrist Superstar album. And I guess yeah, that would be what influences me with my writing too now. Now that I think of it. Thanks, buddy. You walked me
Yeah,
through that one real well.
I got you, brother.
You mean like Marilyn Manson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
beautiful people, beautiful people. Na, 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 na,
Blah,
na.
blah, blah. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
I like
Yep. That's the one.
Marilyn
That's the album.
I like oh boy. I like
What about you, Justin?
Well, I mean, I listen, you know, same answer as Shawn. I mean, I listen to a lot more music now than what I would have back in the day. But, you know, there was my usuals from back in the day, which is when I was learning to play guitar, which, you know, quite, quite a bit probably influenced how I write now, right? The things I would have been listening to back then would have been like Nirvana, Silverchair, Soundgarden, Incubus, that grungy alternative vibe,
Do you
you
like
know.
Linkin Park? Or is
Oh
that
yes. Oh yeah, no, that comes
Yeah.
down, you know, later down the chain when they came out, right? But yeah, no, I followed that route. I definitely got into the new metal and then just heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier.
yeah.
But now
Yeah,
I
I
like, you know,
started off with
everything
like
now, right?
I started off with Def Leppard, then I went to like Motley Crue, Metallica, and then like I fell down into Depeche Mode and climbed right back up to like David Bowie, and then you know, and then got back into it like Nirvana, and then like kept hopping. Like it was crazy. I went through a crazy stage of music, but you know, I was born in 76, so I didn't find my music until like, you know, 87. I was like, oh, I remember looking around like people actually like a certain type of music. And I had this overwhelmed anxiety feeling come over me, like almost a panic attack, like, what do I like? And like I was trying to listen to music, like, what do I like? And we had this radio station called 105, 106, 105.9, 105.9. And they would play all the latest. And I was like, I like this. Yeah, I'll never forget.
I can remember the first 2 cassettes my parents bought me, and yes, I said cassettes, were Black Sabbath and Kiss. And I was like 8 or 9. And I got that for Christmas with a ghetto blaster. And I just knew right then, it's like, oh, this is my jam. And years later, I got to see Ozzy Ninth Row.
What?
Don't know who with who.
Yeah, I don't know who was that with, Shawn. Oh, right, because I almost OD'd the night before, and then we still went to the fucking show.
I think you
Fun
meant
times.
you got 2 eggs the night before.
Yeah, I got 2 eggs and some bacon.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that was a rough car ride, but worth it.
I've had my fair share of eggs. I know how it can
So,
be.
do you guys all play different instruments, or do you just like to play what you play?
No,
Like everything?
I play everything.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, I
Give him
play
a harp,
guitar,
he can't
play
play that.
bass. Well, I mean, probably not a harp, but I mean, give me some time with it, and I'll
I guarantee you he
something
could
out.
learn it. You would.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I can sit behind some drums confidently. I took music all through high school, so most band instruments like clarinet and trumpet and stuff like that, I'm used to be familiar with. I mean, it's been some time now, but not sure if it's
But
like
this
not
is
sure
the
if it's like
kind
a
of
bike.
guy. This is the kind of guy. If you took apart a VCR and set all the parts out in front of him and put him in the room and said, "Go," eventually he's gonna have a working VCR for you. That's this kind of guy. So that's
that like a mechanical engineer, or what do they call it?
I don't know what it is, because you talk to him and you're like, there's no fucking way he could do that, but he can.
He's making the hydro engines and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. There's more going on with them than he tells us. I feel like he puts secret messages into my songs and then gets me to say what I'm saying.
You never know. How well do you know this guy? Like, he's probably
Not that fucking well,
crazy
actually.
mastermind back there.
Dropping subliminal messages in him.
Yeah. See,
That's
and
why he
you
doesn't
talk
want
to
you
him.
to learn how to play it. He's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, no, don't, like, just send me the vocals. Don't fuck
decode
with
it.
them. Yeah. No, I'll edit this song. Okay, Justin.
That's so funny. Whatever he's doing is
Funny
working.
how
though.
he's blaming Justin for it, but I'm the one that can hide anything in the sound.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Didn't you do something rather naughty on the click track, Shawn?
I don't think any of them
Justin,
even
did you?
noticed.
No, Justin looked
what?
at me when it happened. We made eye contact at that uncomfortable moment.
Like, I'm not even really paying attention. And we're on stage, and all of a sudden in my in-ear monitors, they just, I don't even want to say. It was unpolite.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Naughty
He went
Shawn.
full Tyler Durden.
I'm not sure if it was
Kept making
porn
me-
sounds or what was it. I don't know. It was something though.
You'll never know.
It was
I
porn
know.
sound.
It was Shawn from the evening before.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yikes. That is crazy. Wow, that's pretty cool though, you know.
I wasn't expecting that.
What about, like, are you guys gonna do any future like festivals? We're in the
That's-
summertime.
That's the
Camp
goal,
out?
yeah. So we are signing. We have applied to a few, and we have our eyes open for shows and festivals. So we're kind of at that point where if it's within our jurisdiction, we're gonna take it, because we want to get our name out there.
Yeah. I was thinking too bad.
Alberta's only a 2-day drive.
What's that?
Alberta's only a 2-day drive.
Hey, listen, man, we're not against it if we got paid and fed. Trust me.
I'll work on that.
2 days, that's not bad.
No, fuck, I'll drive 4 days.
That'll get you to BC.
Yeah, that's where we need to be anyway. Fuck it.
Well, let me know when
True.
you're in Montreal. That's not that far from me.
Absolutely. We'll be around. We're going to be
How
touring.
far is Montreal from you guys?
7
Approximately
hours.
12. 12 for us, Shawn and I.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fuck yeah. That
That's
drive.
big.
No, it's not
But
12.
that's
No, it's about
far.
7 from where we are.
Liar.
Wow.
Not
Six
the way
shirts.
Shawn drives.
6 shirts.
No,
Sean.
you're right. No, you're right. You're right. If Shawn's
Did you
driving,
guys
we
have
probably
any,
are getting there in 7.
Did you guys have any fun stories when you guys first met? Did you guys have anything funny happen? Any good stories?
Aside
Pranks on each
from
other?
Sean's big red dick obsession, I think that's a pretty strong ongoing story.
Oh, he's got an obsession.
Well, he has an
You know,
obsession
Brennan's
with
got the
seeing the big
obsession.
red dicks in my hands. He likes to see that. So one of the first band photos we took, Shawn quickly took to editing it, and he drew this. I'm assuming because red was the closest thing to skin color that there was,
Okay.
on the little app that he chose to use, whatever the fuck. And
My iPhone.
and he sends to the group a picture of, like, I'm like this with a microphone, and it's this big red dick with like
No,
black
you were holding a
veins.
beer.
Or I was holding a beer, yeah. And it just like that became the group photo. And we haven't had a good red dick photo in a while, to be honest. But over time, even at one point, he sent me a picture of towels that looked like the red dick. Like it was that much of an inside joke to Shawn. So we kind of just humor him now. We talk
Okay.
about it. That's his big exciting
Oh,
story within the
I
band. So there you go, bud. We talked about it.
I can see some like fan postcards with the little big red dick sticker.
Oh yeah. Trust me, once we're big enough to be able to market it, it's gonna be on everything. Like
Uh-oh.
Carbon Dallas will be
Song.
synonymous with big red throbbing black veined dicks.
You're gonna have to make a song about it. Lord of
Well, this
mercy.
is going on Rumble.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean
Go on my channel.
I did try to write a song about it, an ode to Shawn, but it came out Little Pill. So
Oh, little pill. Is it like the Viagra little pill song? Like jagged little pill?
oh, I wish that they was, because that song made Alanis Morissette a lot of money.
Yes, I bought that CD actually. That was one CD I did buy and play it over and over and over again.
Canadian legend.
Yep. She was a good one back then. She was a good one.
I actually saw her live last year. She's still like,
Yeah.
she doesn't look the same, but she plays the same, and she sounds fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I wonder what she looks like. I haven't seen her. But
She looks like her, but like imagine 25 years older.
heavy? Did she gain weight?
Not totally. I mean, as much as anybody does as they gauge. I mean, she's
Yeah.
graceful. I mean, she was always a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful older woman now.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pushing 48 this year. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. 48
Wouldn't know
years.
it. Wouldn't know it.
I'm trying to like keep that vibe, like keep it young.
Oh.
I got adult daughters and sons, so I'm trying to stay younger than them. I'm like, haha, you're getting older.
Yeah,
Shawn,
that's sweet.
as hard as this is going to be to admit, didn't you tell me Vanilla Ice laid it down when you went and saw him?
Vanilla Ice,
Yeah.
Ice baby.
What did Vanilla Ice do?
Well, he was smart. He played 3 songs and then DJ'd for the rest of the night. He played the 3 songs everybody wanted to hear, and then just turned it into a giant party. Guy
So
knows how to
Ice
sell
Ice
stuff.
Baby, Ninja Rap, and
And then he did Rough Riders Anthem.
not even his
by
song.
DMX.
And how
Not even
did
his song.
they take that? Were they
But it was
okay
still
with that?
awesome.
Oh, that
Where
should be
people
all anybody gets out of Vanilla Ice. Come on, like anybody who gives him a stage longer than those two songs, like what are you doing? You're part of the problem.
Hey man, I like
really,
him.
you don't like
Hey,
Vanilla
listen, Rob
Ice?
Van Winkle is great at renovating houses. Okay, I'll say it.
And he wrote a great metal album.
You know who I
Hard to
like?
swallow.
I like Ice-T.
Yes, I love that album.
It wasn't bad. I'll give you that. It was like the bargain bin version of Methods of Mayhem.
I okay, maybe I'll.
Justin's like, yeah, I was like that.
I'm not in this at all.
Look at
He's
Mr.
like,
Justice building up Vanilla Ice.
I ain't having him
Mhm.
come after me.
I was gonna wear my Vanilla Ice shirt tonight. I couldn't find it though.
Oh, now
Oh,
I'm gonna
really?
start wearing Vanilla Ice shirts when we perform. I'm
I
gonna
went
create a
to
vendetta against this guy for no
I
reason.
went
You're gonna
I
wear
went
them?
to Cypress Hill concert after smoking some California ganja and fell asleep at the concert.
Oh, lame.
They had chairs. You don't have chairs at a concert. You take away the chairs.
You do
People
at a Cypress Hill
uh,
concert.
Cypress
Yeah,
Hill
there was
fell
an
asleep.
Aussie one.
I got so stoned, I sat back in the chair and slept through the whole pounding, non-stop rage.
We're going to see Cypress Hill in June, July.
No shit.
Yeah,
Really?
Cypress Hill and the Souls of Mischief.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's gonna be a sick show.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Rage Against the Machine. I'd like to see them live. They're one of mine. Do you guys like Rage?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that
I don't
just
like that they
ended.
keep breaking up and getting together and breaking up. That's kind of annoying.
Really?
Kind
Is
of
that
like,
what they're doing?
well, yeah,
Yeah,
they're done now.
Oh.
Again,
they
Why do you
literally
think that is? They just don't want to play music anymore?
Tom
they
Morello's
just
a whiny
publicly
little
went and
bitch.
said, yeah. Well, they said they just didn't want to play music together anymore, which they
Yeah,
didn't
some
do it for
people
too
they don't.
long.
Some
I would
people
say it's
don't do
probably
it
Tom
No.
Morello
forever.
also.
What was that?
Hmm.
Tom Morello, he's
Probably Tom Morello.
yeah, he's got too big for
Ivy
his
League,
britches.
Harvard. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy.
I mean,
Well,
he's
you
he's a
guys.
phenomenal musician. He's an incredibly intelligent man, but it doesn't jive well with the free thinking people,
Oh, I see.
and so
Well,
it's
while we're talking about folks, is there anybody that you want to give shout outs to? People that you've met or that you've collaborated or people that have helped you along the way? Mom and dad, people like that. Just anyone you want to shout out to, you guys?
yeah. First and foremost, I would love to shout out my wife Lala. She is also our band manager, and she she keeps us in line. She does a good job at it, and my kid, I guess, but she won't listen to this.
You never know. You can save it for them, save it for the future.
See, I did cool things.
Yeah. Your first radio show, or you've been on the radio before?
I've been on the radio before, but not with anybody as cool as you.
What? Yeah, I'm cosmic, galactic. What about you, Justin?
Well, what do we
Shout out.
what? Shout outs, yeah, I know. No, that's exactly
Huh?
what we were talking. I zoned out just for a quick second there. Yeah, no, shout outs to, all my
Barely
family
keep
and
your eyes
friends.
open.
Well, it just looks like it. I mean, I realize that I look like my eyes are like not even open at all. I'll just go back to that. Nice and high or something. Big shout out to my friends and family, and especially to my wife, who has no problem with me just being really busy with music all the time.
Tracy's
You know,
shit.
she knows she has to share, and so so she does.
Yes. Yes, shout out to the wifeys.
Yes.
Nice. What about you, Shawn?
My kids for putting up with that shit all the time. Like they're teenagers now and they want to sleep in, and I'm like 6 o'clock in the morning, speakers blaring, trying to mix the song or start recording. So They put up with a lot, and they're probably my biggest supporters too. So
Wow. Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning. You got to wake up to some blasting music. That's the only way to do it.
Let's
Right.
not forget about
not
the
the
boys
same
who aren't
song
here.
over and over again.
The boys who are not here.
Yeah.
So we'll pour one out for Dave, who is not here currently. I know for a fact he would say, I like, if I'm being honest, my wife.
No,
You
that's
impressed.
exactly how he would say it as well.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
And
Love
Dennis, I imagine, would be, pushing back his beautiful blonde hair and being like, I don't know.
Nice.
Did I nail it, boys?
No, I think you did.
Yeah, perfect. It's like they were, and then of course our official, unofficial sixth member, Kurt.
Kurt.
Yeah, we love Kurt. Kurt.
Yep.
Kurt
He.
Cobain.
Not Kurt Cobain.
Okay.
Through our time, Dave has actually had some medical issues that he had to go and deal with. So Kurt filled in for him. So some of the songs are Kurt drumming, some of the songs are Dave drumming, but Dave is our live drummer.
Okay.
But Kurt was definitely at our first show, and he just
He
so
also
happened to
did the
be in
keys.
Ontario. Yeah, he did the keys in any of the
He's
songs
done the
with keys
keys
in them.
But he ended up he works out east, and he spends most of his time away from this province, and so he can't be in the band, but he is a permanent member in spirit.
Beautiful. Nice. Well, that is awesome. Well, it was great having you guys on the show. I'm super excited to play your music and share you guys with my listeners. Is there anything that you wanted to say, Dawn, before we go?
Again, just thank you for letting me use that track on my intro. It's already getting reactions and people are liking it. Karen Holton, who's actually the co-host on the show that just went on to Typical Skeptic, was one of the first ones, and she's like, she's up in years old, and was loving it. So
that is absolutely awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
So go ahead and put your plug in. Let everybody know where to find your music and follow you and all that good juice.
So you can find us on all music platforms under Carbon Dallas, CARBON Dallas. And then if you go to the web, I'll say the website here. It's quite easy, but I have a terrible memory. Just 1 second.
I know, Shawn.
Here, we'll send you the information too. I imagine you can attach to the episode, but it's hypoliink, hypoliink.me/Carbon Dallas. And that will take you to everything. Our YouTube, Spotify, our TikTok, and all the things. And we post regularly, and we're quite active, and we always enjoy interaction. And if you like one of the songs, leave a note, and if you don't, kindly leave.
Yeah. Yeah, like I tell my listeners, I don't want to hear your negativity. Don't come over here with that shit.
No, there's somebody else that you like, and it's not me, but I don't need to know that. So, be gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bring us your positive vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was great having you guys on. I'm super excited to play your guys' music. Is there any special requests that you would like me to play? I know I'm going to play that song first, but it'll also be at the end when I play your guys' interview. So any special one that you want? I know Dawn has a special one, but do you guys have a special one? Any special song?
No, let Dawn pick. What? Or Brandon, you gonna pick one?
Well, I mean, I'd love to hear which one Dawn wants to play, but I would suggest Little Pills just because it's getting the re-release. But Dawn, what did you have in mind, my man?
I like High Maintenance. Honestly, it's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah. 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 All right. Fuck it. Do high maintenance.
I mean, obviously I'm gonna do Little Pill as well. I can do up to like three, 4 songs, I believe.
We won't
So
push it. We'll say 3. You can do the Down in the Dirt, Little Pills, and High Maintenance, and we will say thank you.
okay.
Oh.
All right, all right. Well, thank you guys. It was a pleasure to have you. It's nice meeting you, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording and say goodbye.
Bye.